Hi everyone and welcome back to a new video. So I thought I would do a trip report video on my Walt Disney Florida May trip that has just been. So I wanted to do this because when I was out there, a few things happened that I wanted to talk about and let you know about and tell you, if you watched my trip itinerary, why we didn't do certain things and why we did certain things. So before I start, I will let you know what I'm wearing as always. So I have on my rose gold mini ears, which are from Walt Disney World, and you can get these in Paris as well, so that's pretty cool. And because it's so hot in the UK at the minute, like it's literally, like it's amazing, but it's just so hot. I've got this amazing vest top on, which is from Happily Ever After. So on the back, if I can show you, it says Happily Ever After on the back there, and it's got Happily Ever After on the front. It's got the castle, and I just wear like a little black boob tube underneath because it's a little bit see-through. I actually got this in Walt Disney World last May when they first actually did Happily Ever After. I was there like a few days after it, so I picked up this and I picked up a tumbler mug as well, so that's why I have this. But I don't think you can get these anymore. I've never seen them since, but yeah, I got it and I absolutely love it. So we got there on the Friday. We flew with British Airways. We always fly with British Airways, and we always get the car hire with British Airways, which I think is, well, I think it was through Avis. Yeah, it was through Avis. We got our car hire through Avis, which is part of like the British Airways, like it goes hand in hand. We had to wait for a car for about an hour. Like, we got through security fine. Like, you have to wait in security for quite a while because the line is always long, so I expected that. But this is the second time now we've had to sit and we've had to wait for a car, and they were like, your car's not ready, to my mum and dad. And like, my mum and dad's car, like me and my partner's car, was fine. They upgraded it as well, but the line was so long. Like, they had to wait in it for over an hour. There were people kicking off because they'd ordered Mustangs. They had no Mustangs left. They were running out of cars, so that was kind of annoying. Avis kind of need to sort that out because that's the second time that's happened. No one wants to get off a 9-hour flight and be stuck in the airport for an hour. So we didn't get to the apartment until like 6ish, half 6. I think we landed at 3. So that's the second time in 2 years running that has happened. A few things that I really loved about this trip was that we went to the Florida Mall again. I absolutely love the Florida Mall, but Florida Mall has everything. It's really good, and that's where I post all those Loungefly bags from that everyone went mad for on Instagram. And if you want to go to like places like Hot Topic, Pop Cult, Box Lunch Gifts, then I would definitely recommend going there, and I absolutely loved going there, so I definitely recommend going there for all those places. Had my first Taco Bell. I'd never had a Taco Bell before, which is crazy, but I loved it. It was so good. So in the first week, because the weather was like so good, obviously the first week kind of outweighed the second week because the weather was amazing. We had like a few pool days. First week we did Animal Kingdom, Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, and Epcot. And I want to talk about Islands of Adventure and Universal because I haven't spoken about that yet. We got our tickets on the door. I think I said in my video before I got them from Florida Tix, but I didn't. I don't know why I said that. I think I got carried away. But I actually got them at Universal itself. We always find it cheaper to get it on the door. We did a 2-park 1-day ticket, which I haven't done for a long time. But let me tell you, obviously Disney was super busy. Like, Universal, however, chill. Like, it was so chill. Like, we walked on most rides. The most I waited for a ride was the Gringotts because it kept breaking down, so I waited like near enough an hour for that. Everything else was like walk on. Like, it was super quick, super easy. We did the new Fast and Furious ride, which I was really disappointed with that. It looks like they spent more time and more money on like the walking through, like with all the amazing cars and like the barbecue area from the films, but the ride was really not that good. Like, it was like you were in a bad game of PlayStation or something. It was really weird, and there was like hardly any wait time. It was like a 15-minute wait time, but it was like less than that. And for a ride that only opened like the other week, you would expect it to be a lot busier. And we went on Transformers, which is just amazing. Like, yeah. Oh, but I did go on that big ride where you play the music. Is it Rip Rocket? What's the ride? I'm going to Google it real quick. That's it. I went on Rip Ride Rocket. Oh my god. I sat in the front, and let me tell you, it was horrendous. I've always wanted to go on it. I think it looks great. Like, you literally go up laying on your back, so you're literally facing the sky, and you get to pick any song you want. So you pick a genre and you pick a song. I picked Kanye West Stronger because I was stressing out. I was facing the sky. I was like, I need to pick a song now. So that's the song I picked to listen to. The best thing about it that I didn't realise is that they film you going round, so you can buy a video of yourself. That was really awesome to watch. It was so funny. So I did that for the first time, which is crazy. But yeah, I absolutely love Universal. It's one of my favourite parks. It was super quiet. I love that. Then we went over to Islands of Adventure, and we only got to spend a few hours there because we did a Universal for like most of the day. We went on Spider-Man, which is great. We did Jurassic Park. Oh my god, I haven't been on Jurassic Park since I was little, and the last time I went on it, I think I hit my chest going down, so like going down the big drop, and I had like bad chest pains for like the next few days. Either that or I was dying, I'm not really sure. But this time we went on it and we got drenched, we got really wet, didn't realise that we were going to get wet. Then we did obviously the ride in Harry Potter in Islands of Adventure with the broomsticks. I remember when that first opened. I remember when I went on it, I was literally screaming and laughing and crying the whole way around. Now it just makes me feel sick. It gives me too much motion sickness. I don't actually like it anymore, which is really, like, I'm really sad because like I love that ride. But that was like a walk on, like it was, you could just walk on that ride. But they had this new projection on the castle, and oh my goodness gracious, I was not expecting it to be as good as it actually was. Obviously it's nothing on Happily Ever After, but it was really good. Like, and then we had dinner in, we were going to go for dinner at Bubba Gump or Hard Rock, but we were in there so late trying to get everything done and trying to show like my boyfriend that park as well. It was too much to do it in one day. I wouldn't ever do that again. Yeah, so we ate in the 3 broomsticks in Islands of Adventure. I've never eaten in there before. I've never actually been in there, and I had like a spit roast chicken with a whole cob of corn and potatoes, and it was really good. So we were going to go over on the train from Universal to Islands of Adventure so we could show my uncle that, because obviously if you've not been on the train, it's kind of like a little bit of a show. It's really cool. But there was a 40-minute wait time, and I didn't want to wait for 40 minutes to then just go into the other parks. So we just walked there in the end, so that was fine. The second week, however, was not so great. So basically rained from the second Saturday until basically when we left. There was like odd bits of sun, like you could go sunbathe for a few hours, but then it would rain for the whole evening, the whole night, and I've never had that before. So obviously we went last May. The weather was perfect, the weather was great. There was hardly any rain, but this I think was like a really unusual spell. I think it's still raining now. I think they've got a storm going over, so we got really unlucky with the second week. So, as you know, when you book Walt Disney World, you are planning your dining, your fast passes well in advance. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. So we had some issues there. So let me tell you about that. So on the Sunday it was torrential rain, and we were meant to be going to the Magic Kingdom on the Monday, and it looked set to be thunderstorms and rain all day. Like no stopping all day. And you're probably like, oh, it's a little bit of rain, but like until you actually go to Florida and you were there in the rain, you just don't understand. It's not like rain in the UK where it just rains a little bit. You could be out there for like 2 seconds and you're drenched from head to toes if you've been in a shower. And there's nothing worse than walking around parks drenched, because I wear flip-flops all the time. My feet are always wet. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I would prefer to not go in the rain. So like we have our ponchos, we bring ponchos with us every year, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with wearing a poncho. They totally work and everyone wears them, so like you're fine. No one looks at you weird or anything. So we decided not to go on the Monday like we'd originally planned, and we decided to go on the Tuesday because the weather was a little bit better. So I originally had Be Our Guest booked and 3 fast passes, which were the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain. So I was in Chang's restaurant on Sunday at the Millennium Mall, and I was looking on the Disney Experience app because I was like, oh my goodness, like I really want to go to Be Our Guest because my partner's never been and we wanted them to experience that. So I looked on there and managed to find 2 people, 2 o'clock, Be Our Guest for lunch, which is what I had booked before. I had 2 o'clock for 2 people for lunch. So somehow I got really lucky and managed to book the restaurant that I wanted. I then found Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but that was for 10:30 to 11:30, which is kind of early. We normally don't go that early, but I was like, I'm just gonna book it anyway because there was no other times for that. So I managed to get both of those things that are like super hard to get hold of, and that was 2 days before. So if you ever do have a wet day and you're just like, I don't want to go when it's completely torrential rain. I don't want to wear a poncho all day. I'm not going to get any cute pictures. Then do check that Disney Experience app, because then on the Monday my mum managed to find a booking for like $150 for 4 people, Be Our Guest lunch. So it's worth it. You can get the Be Our Guest, you can get the fast passes if you do check like a few days before, because people always change their plans. However, we went on that Tuesday, and obviously all the people that must have wanted to go on the Monday had all gone on to the Tuesday, along with all the people that were already going on the Tuesday. So as you can imagine, it was super busy. I have to say, this time it's been way busier than I've ever seen it, ever. There was a thing called the Summit, which was at Wide World of Sports. I think it was like a cheerleading contest. There was a lot of cheerleaders around, like a lot of young girls, and it made it really busy, and it was just busy in general. So Magic Kingdom was really busy that day, and then it did torrential rain in the afternoon. It stopped, and then we watched Happily Ever After, and it just torrential rained the whole time. Luckily, I knew this was going to happen, and I went with my partner on the Saturday and saw Happily Ever After and had a little walk around because it was open till 12, so I saw it without any rain, and I sat right at the front. If you know you're going to get bad weather and you know it's going to be in the evening, always try and go and see a fireworks show another time if you can. So with that, we went in at about 5:30, 6:30, and we went just to watch Happily Ever After, sat right at the front, got some popcorn, got a drink, sat right at the front, and I was at the very, very front for Happily Ever After, and I sat down at about 7:30 maybe, so I had an hour and a half wait, but it was fine. Like, I got a really good view, so if you want to do that, that's a really good idea to do. In my trip announcement video, I said I was going to Miami for the weekend. We had a hotel booked and we were going to drive down there. That was the weekend that the weather went bad, so we ended up not going. We thought we might as well just save the money. Like, if the weather's going to be bad down there and bad in Orlando, what's the point in wasting money on a hotel and petrol and doing things down there if it's not going to be very nice? We stayed in Orlando for the weekend, and we just did a lot of shopping at the outlets in Disney Springs instead. I remember we were in Hollywood Studios, and we had like those cheap ponchos because I didn't know where my one was, and we'd split up from my family, and oh my god, my boyfriend was like, I'm not wearing this, it doesn't work. Took it off, and within seconds he was drenched. It looked like he'd been in the shower, and everyone was like looking at him like, what the hell? So, and I wore my one, and it was just tragic. I couldn't get it back on. I put it on inside out after I'd been on a ride. It was bad times, but I just thought, we just got to get on with it now, just get wet, it doesn't matter. We got the pictures in the morning, so it was fine. There was a lot of days like that where it was really, really lovely in the morning and like mid-afternoon, and then it would just torrential rain. Hey, you got to make the best of a bad situation. So what we did, we went shopping. We did a lot of outlet shopping, a lot of shopping in general, and I went to Disney Springs quite a lot this time as well, and I love Disney Springs. I cannot even tell you. If you've ever been when it was downtown Disney, oh my goodness, if you haven't been since then, it's like a whole different world. There's just so much to see, there's so many places to eat. It's just, oh, I love it there. The only thing that I would say that was like kind of disappointing was this time that the World of Disney was like half the size of it normally, because I think they're refurbing it, and I was like, oh, this is the biggest Disney shop in the world, let's go in there, to my partner, and it was like half the size, and it was super busy and it was crowded, and he was just like, what the hell is going on? So that was kind of annoying. But I loved it there. I got the millennial pink drink, which cost me $18, but it was totally worth it. But it was good. We went to Rainforest Cafe one day, and this is how you know it's really busy. She said the wait time was 3.5 hours for dinner. It was like 5 o'clock. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, like, I know I've said a lot of negative things, but it was awesome. Like, we had the best time. You just have to make the best out of a bad situation, and if it's gonna rain, you're just gonna have to go with your ponchos and your umbrellas, and you just have to ride through it. You just have to. Obviously there were some days where it was torrential all day. You can't do that because that's no fun for anyone. You might as well just be back in the UK. But there were days where we could lay by the pool. Like on the last day we got to lay by the pool, so that was good for a few hours. But I would have liked more pool time, but obviously we didn't get the weather for it. Positive things from this trip were Memory Maker. Oh my god. So I've spoken about the Memory Maker in my trip announcement. Obviously I got my tickets from Florida Tix, and Memory Maker is included in that. I cannot explain how worth it that is. Like, I had a magic band, and I normally just use my card. I normally just have a card, but I had a magic band this time, the millennial pink one, which I absolutely loved, and it was so easy to just be like, hi, can you take our picture? Take a picture, tap, tap. Like, it was so quick, so easy, didn't need to get anything out. So if you're not staying on Disney property, buy yourself a magic band because it's super easy to link up and it's just easy to just go like this rather than keep getting stuff out of your wallet. So Memory Maker was great. Obviously my boyfriend's never been. We had a lot of good pictures together. They had a lot of ones where they put the CGI like little lolly in, and then obviously the balloons as well on Main Street. And it's good because we did a lot of parks where we walked around by ourselves and we didn't want to keep asking people to take pictures of us, so we got the professional ones done. So it's good if you're just going as a couple. So definitely get the Memory Maker if it's included, because it's so worth it. Oh my god, I nearly forgot. I need to talk to you about Pandora. So we had a fast pass for Navi River Journey, but we couldn't get a fast pass for Flight of Passage. And the wait times were like over 100 minutes or something like that. We did Navi River Journey. And I spoke about this on my Instagram stories, and I'm pretty sure I did it in my vlogs. I wasn't blown away by the Navi River Journey. It wasn't long enough for me. There wasn't much going on. Like the animatronics of the Avatar in that ride is amazing. It's like next to nothing that I've seen before. So that was cool to see, and like a few other bits, but it was kind of like something and nothing. And considering the wait time was really long, if I had waited a long time for that, I would have been really annoyed because it just didn't blow me away. However, later on in the day we had done everything. I got extra fast passes for things, and we just thought, why don't we go on Flight Passage? Let's just do it, let's queue up. It said 110 minutes and it was less than an hour, maybe about 45-50 minutes if that. So I'm super glad we decided to do that, and I'm glad that we didn't get a fast pass because you got to see Jake in the Tank, you got to see the big Banshee on the wall with the Avatar on it. So it's totally worth queuing. It moves a lot quicker than you think it's going to move, and I just can't. I know everyone says like it's amazing, it blows your mind. Like I didn't come off crying or anything, but it's just, oh my god, it is like soaring on steroids. And I would 100% recommend, if you can, fast pass it. If you can't queue for it, just do it, because the Banshee, you feel it breathing. It was like you're in another world, and it goes on for just the right amount of time, except I didn't want it to end, and I felt like I was in Pandora. That's a really great addition to Animal Kingdom. The whole Pandora section itself was great. I had the Night Blossom drink, which was amazing. I loved it. And it was just nice to see in the daytime. It was nice to see at nighttime as well, because it comes alive at nighttime. The sounds are different. There was people there playing drums. There's a lot of like entertainment, but it's very, very immersive. Obviously Disney do that very well. So that was a very big highlight of the trip, was trying out Pandora for the first time, because obviously last time I was there they did soft openings and they did it behind the wall, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to go in. So that was definitely a good highlight from the trip. It just made Animal Kingdom a lot busier than it's ever been before, because normally that's a very chilled park. You can walk around it, you can just walk on rides. Dinosaur, I've only ever walked on straight on that ride. This time it was like an hour wait. So that's how you knew it was busy, when you have rides that you've never queued for before. I actually really enjoyed Hollywood Studios this time. We had a fast pass for Rock and Roll Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror. Rock and Roll Roller Coaster fast pass was kind of slow, like it wasn't as quick as normal, but those two were the best rides. Actually, we went on Toy Story Mania twice, and that was the best thing ever. I absolutely love that ride. They said the line was like 40 minutes or 50 minutes. It was like 20 minutes. Obviously a lot of that park is closed at the minute, so it's really quiet. You can actually just walk on things. It's pretty chill, so I quite like it there. Obviously Toy Story is opening next month, and then Star Wars is opening later next fall, so obviously it's going to get a lot busier. And Epcot was super busy, as were all the other parks, but we had fast passes for Illuminations. However, the normal fast pass area they had like closed off, and it was for an event, and all these people came out from like behind this wall, and they were obviously listening to music, different music, and they had like glow sticks and stuff, so they had that area. So that was kind of annoying, because it made the fast pass area like teeny tiny, but it was still a great view, and I'm very glad we had that. And this time round we did the passport, where you go around to all the countries, they stamp it, they write something in their language, and you put your stickers in, and that was great because I got to talk to a lot of cast members about like their like countries, their culture. We ate Teppan Edu this time. Never eaten in Japan before. It was awesome, except we had a booking for say 2 o'clock. We still had to wait with a buzzer before we could even sit down, so it doesn't really matter what time you go because you still have to wait. We got to the table, the waitress was kind of like introducing like herself and a lot of other things, got our drinks order, but we still had to wait at least another 20 minutes before we even had our food being made in front of us. So I'm not sure I would go there again because it was very time wasting, as in like I wasted 40 minutes not doing anything. When my family went to eat at Via Napoli, I think it's called, in Italy, they were in and out and we were still waiting for our food. So that was kind of annoying, but it was good for the experience and it was awesome. Like the guy we had was really good, he was talkative, he did really cool things, like it was nice to have the food freshly cooked in front of you, and the food was awesome as well. I'll do a blog post on that as well, because I took some pictures of that, but it was really good food. So I would recommend going there. Maybe it was just our time that we went was just an odd time that we had to wait, but we did have to wait a long time for that. And another really big highlight for me was Happily Ever After. So obviously I saw it for the first time when they actually introduced it, like a week after it was introduced last year, and I just love it. I never thought anything could replace Wishes. I obviously went to Disney World so many years and loved Wishes, and Wishes was like the best thing ever, but Happily Ever After has replaced it for me. I think it is great. I pretty much cried when Tinkerbell flew from the castle. I was crying, but I just loved it. And then because the park was open till midnight, we got to walk around and it wasn't too bad. Like it was still busy but not as busy, so that was one of my highlights, was going there on the Saturday night, me and my boyfriend, and watching Happily Ever After. It was just the best thing ever. Obviously I went to the new Disney Style store, which you saw in my Instagram and my Instagram stories, and it was amazing. It was a brand new store, open when I was there, and I found some really good stuff in there. So you'll have to watch my Disney World haul that I'm gonna put up. I'm not sure when, but there's a lot of stuff in there, so I might split it into two, but you'll have to watch that to see what I bought. But hopefully you enjoy the vlogs that are coming. I'm so excited to show you them, and I just need to get on with editing them for you. So hopefully this video was informative for you. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you aren't already subscribed, then subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of Disney stuff coming. Obviously Walt Disney World hauls, Walt Disney World vlogs, and everything else that's to do with Disney. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, then give me a follow. It's at DisneyJemmyD. I'm doing a Walt Disney World giveaway at some point over there. I've got some really good stuff to give away, so head over to there and give me a follow. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll be back soon with a new video. Bye!